Guys, it has been 2 years. 2 years since I last made a YouTube video on StarCraft 2 or since I last really played the game. However, I have returned. I've now played 139 games over the last 2 weeks. Made it back to top 100 in Grandmasters. If you check our race report, 70% win rate versus Terran. Pretty good. I mostly played a free roach opener still, free roach into Mutalisk. And then I transition to Lingbane Hydra usually. Or like Hydra focused late game with lurkers. Versus Zerg, 2 base Mutalisk every single game, 63% win rate. Versus Protoss, still I've been gone for 2 years, I come back somehow, some way. Protoss has been buffed even more. Now at a 37% win rate. Quite the disaster this matchup. But I want to show you guys a little bit about of how I play ZvP these days, because I actually, it took me about 50 games and some inputs to really find a way to play the matchup, but I believe I found the solution. So you're seeing me here play a game against the Grandmaster Protoss. And I still open with the 13 gas, 12 pool build pretty much every game. Like 90% of the games I play exactly this opener where I build 6 Zerglings, I throw down the Speedlings, and then I go across the map with them while I expand. Usually the Zerglings are not able to do any damage at all. It is quite a struggle to get any real damage done, but it is what it is. At home, Link Speed is on the way, droning up, taking double hatches before I build my queen. Once my opponent gets the adepts out, this is actually a funny one, he decided to shade out against 5 speedlings. It turned out not to be the best idea, so he gave me an adept for the price of 2 links, and he also lost a probe. But the way I'm playing the game right now is 16 drones in the main, drone up the natural. Over here there's not too much happening. I scout a little bit, try to figure out what my opponent is going for. This time I'm facing a Void Ray build. I'm actually gonna lose 2 Overlords, I think. Scout the Stargate a little bit late. Void Rays are also not the most common thing. At home, droning up, putting drones back into the gas around the 4-minute mark, usually with this opener. Kinda depends how many links I have to build, but my opponent is playing a very defensive style, so I also see that he's taking a third base. I tried to kill the probe while he was taking it, but I just couldn't get it done. Building no spores at all so far, because, well, my opponent went for a Void Ray, and I also had the Overlord there and did not see an Oracle. So I delayed my spores quite a bit. I'm building the spores now. I do have an additional queen in case something goes dire, but eventually you want the spore crawlers no matter what. My game plan, however, to lift the secret, get that lair up. I'm building it in the natural. This game doesn't really matter. Also rallying my drones and overlords to their respective hatchery, so I have no drones running around, so the Void Ray cannot just kill them. But what you're seeing is I'm going for 3 hatcheries into Evolution Chamber, Lair, into Hydra Den. And I'm also pressuring quite a bit with my Zerglings, just trying to figure out what's going on. The most important thing for me right here is to see that my opponent is keeping the adepts at home. If he were to move out with the adepts, I would need to build a lot of links. Now I did build links anyways at this point, because I'm nearing 66 drones. Also taking some additional bases here. Prodding around with my links now, I see that he is going for the double Archon drop. I went for a double Hydralisk then, because I felt like the investment is worth it to get the upgrades out quicker. My goal is to attack him with Hydralisks, then make a transition to Spire. I think Elaser plays like this, is what people in Twitch chat told me. And people in Twitch chat would never lie to me. So I guess this is a laser build if you want to be precise, except for maybe the opening. My opponent is going for a charge slot Archon attack here though. I'm getting ready to defend my base. Queen and Lynx tanking beautifully while the Archons are shooting at the hatchery, just defending the space. Quite happily, in fact. Opponent is expanding away. I'm building my last couple Hydralisks while I'm also building a Spire. I now have 23 Hydralisks and I'm gonna go and try and pressure my opponent as best I can. Don't really want to run my Lynx into the Archons, but it does happen sometimes. So now I feel very comfortable with pushing out. He actually loses an Archon there to the low ground Hydralisks. One Archon is not really dangerous like that. I'm going in on the third base. Hydralisks in position, very scared of the storm. Lynx should be on hold position. I'm not sure if they actually are. Slowed down the game a bit so we can watch it better. My goal right here is to keep the Hydralisks alive. And about the rest of the units, I do not care too much. The Lynx are very expendable. The Hydralisks should kill any Stalkers or Archons that they can pick, because I am building 13 Mutalisks right now. So I am putting the pressure on with Ling Hydra while I'm building Mutalisks. Now while the Mutalisks are being built, my Link production slows down a bit. I could have more drones and stuff as well. You can tell I didn't really play actively for 2 years. My macro is quite silly, but yeah. So right here we're going to use some strategy. So I'm pushing him on the north side. Meanwhile, my Mutalisks are engaging this space here. So the only way I think to really beat Protoss is just to out multitask them. So you attack them on more places than they can handle. Try to kite him here with my Hydralisks, so he has to pay attention. Meanwhile, my Mutalisks snipe the battery, they're killing the Stalkers. I sent some links for reinforcements. So the Stalkers that he warped in were not quite enough. The Hydralisks are still putting pressure on here once he shows me himself down here. You immediately go in, try to snipe the cannons or whatever I can find. Not sure what I actually go for. Just some pressure. At home, the Lurker Den is being built. I think I actually built 2 Lurker Dens. I didn't realize it, that I already had one. Infestation Pit Hive Transition is also getting on the way. More pressure here. The more I can spread him out, the easier it is for me to fight. If he just puts his units into a huge ball, I have no chance at all. Units lost. I actually outtraded the Protoss at this point. He still has a pretty good eco, but he's kind of stuck on 3 bases. My goal is to just keep on pressuring him. I killed some cannons over here, so I'm throwing away some Hydralisks as well, sadly. But I get some more probe kills. And right now I'm getting ready for an attack, for a counter by him. Phoenix are very good against Mutalisks as long as he has the attention to micro them. So the only way I can really beat the Phoenix is by putting on pressure on him. So once again, going in here, putting on a little bit of pressure. He pulls his units apart, they immediately get that Phoenix kill. The Hydralisks come in as well. Not really a good trade for me, but my Mutalisks are able to get into his main base. Sadly, not too much damage done by my Mutalisks here either. At home, I'm making the Lurker switch. Because right now, I want to keep my opponent on 3 bases. This is a very comfortable position for me. Main, mining out, natural, mining out, third base, full up and running. But I'm putting a lot of pressure on him. So by attacking him here with my Mutalisks, I'm trying to keep his attention on the main base. Maybe he A-moves his units into his main. And then, at the same time, Lynx, Hydra, Lurker go in, burrow, and I take control over this space here. This is a very, very critical space for the game. The lings are kind of mismanaged. Mutalisks immediately swap on over into the fur base because I figured if he is moving his Archons to the lurkers, I might be able to do some damage in this area of the map. Just slow pushing him. You can tell I've already taken quite a bit of a lead in the supply department, sniping that overseer that came out of the robo. I realized he has no detection, so sniping that overseer is critical here. Should have also maybe focused down the robo or the pylon. He does get another observer that I immediately snipe. This just allows me to take control over this part of the map for a long time. And another base snipe, and just like that, the Protoss is slowly but surely falling apart. Couple more fights. Lurkers getting burrowed. Lurkers, well, they are as they always have been, right? They're pretty good units, they trade decently. If you check the units lost tab, by now I'm actually trading worse than him, but I just have so many more resources at my disposal that my Protoss opponent cannot really keep up with me here. And with his third base now gone, and his army gone, and his natural gone, we have some final chat messages, and the game is over. So, this is kind of how I play ZvP these days. 1312 Speedling Gas Opener into a lair. I double Hydra Den this time, usually it's a single Hydra Den, but had enough resources because my lair was a bit late. Full on ranged missile upgrade, Ling Hydra Opener into Mutalisk or Corruptor, and then the Lurker transition, and we just take control over the map. Put pressure on our opponent. If I just leave my opponents be, I have absolutely zero chance in the late game. I'm not even going to try to beat Protoss in the late game. Once Tempest Storm or Carrier Storm or whatever is out, I might as well leave the game. But hey, trying to make the best of it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day.